Travel photography is fun and exciting, but it also can be challenging because there are so many variables to consider and unexpected encounters. That is why I have been enjoying shooting travel photos with my phone more and more. Being able to switch between multiple lenses within seconds and having access to multiple shooting methods really help in capturing all of those fleeting moments. On my recent trip to Hong Kong, I used the Galaxy S23 Ultra as my main travel camera. With an average of over 17,000 steps a day, I visited a ton of places and took a ton of photos. So all of the video footage and the photos shown in this video are all shot and edited on the S23 Ultra. And yet, you're probably thinking, with the release of the S24 series, the S23 Ultra is no longer the newest flagship from Samsung. But even though the S23 Ultra came out over a year ago, this phone is still so fast and so powerful, it has no signs of slowing down. If anything, it has only gotten better over time, especially with the One UI 6.0 update, where I've noticed improvements in the camera performance. So in this video, come with me as we explore Hong Kong, from popular tourist destinations like the Big Buddha to exploring night markets and hunting for neon signs. There are tons of photos and video footage, so let's just jump right in. And Hong Kong was really the perfect place to put these cameras to the test. I've always wanted to shoot street photography in Hong Kong because there's always something interesting going on and you can shoot from many different perspectives, like from the second level of a bus or a moving sidewalk. And because Chinese New Year was right around the corner, the streets were draped with red and gold. Markets and pop-up stalls were busy selling all kinds of New Year goodies. Hong Kong also has some really cool architecture. Because of how dense the city is, some of these buildings are massive and they sprawl for blocks. One of the most famous buildings is called the Monster Building, and it is located in Quarry Bay. You can see how packed these apartments are, and there are multiple buildings all within this one block. There are also lots of temples and gardens scattered throughout the city, and they get busy, especially around this time of year. Some are very elaborate, like this Qilin Nunnery, and you can spend hours wandering the grounds. Others are more compact, with their own unique character. Overall, I just love how the incense and candle smoke fill the air, giving everything a hazy, atmospheric look. Shooting in these dimly lit, foggy rooms are definitely challenging, especially during an overcast day. And I'm even surprised by the 3x and 10x telephoto lenses. All of these photos look sharp with lots of detail, and the colors are vibrant. And because Hong Kong is a coastal city, there are many ports and harbors to explore with great views. Some of these piers on the west side of the island are more local, where you will find people exercising, fishing, and just relaxing. The vibe here is definitely more chill and relaxed, away from the bustle of the city. On the other hand, Victoria Harbour is a well-known tourist spot, where you can ride the ferry and see amazing views from both sides. Shooting in this location is definitely one of those scenarios where you really get the benefits of being able to switch lenses quickly. You can get wide shots of the harbor, but also telephoto shots of details as well. Another highlight of Hong Kong is taking the cable car to Lantau Island and seeing the Big Buddha. From the entrance to the monastery to all of these surrounding hikes, everything just looks so photogenic and you can easily spend a whole day here. The Wisdom Path is one of those trails and it's definitely worth seeing. There are these giant wood beams inscribed with Chinese calligraphy towering over the path. Using the ultra wide was a really cool way to capture the dramatic angle of this area. Some of the hikes up to the top of the mountain are pretty steep, but you're rewarded with views of the Buddha in the distance and the wisdom path to the right. Coming later in the day, closer to sunset is always a good bet. Unfortunately, it was kind of cloudy on the day that we went, so the lighting wasn't the best. But overall, most people come here to see the big Buddha, and to get up there, you have to climb 268 steps, and over 1 million people visit this spot each year. Another famous destination with great hiking in Hong Kong is Victoria Peak. There are these giant, old Indian rubber trees with aerial roots that come to the ground, forming a tunnel where you can walk through. On the day we went, it was kind of hazy, so you can see these beams of light shining through the trees. And of course, the peak is known for the views of the city and river. The haze makes it a little tough to capture, but a quick edit in Lightroom easily fixes that. The best time to go is around sunset. The golden hour colors definitely make the buildings stand out. And after sunset, definitely stick around for some of those night views. All of the buildings light up, and some of them even have LED displays and light animations. We spent many hours here, and the night view was definitely worth waiting for. For a different perspective of the skyline, the view at night from the harbor is also stunning. There are laser shows daily, and night cruises are available too. And if the promenade is too crowded, the restaurants by the harbor also offer great views. And while the 3x telephoto lens works well enough at night, I was kind of disappointed in the ultra wide. The images look pretty soft, and it just looks like there's way too much noise reduction going on. But regardless, I really do enjoy using the S23 Ultra at night, because paired with Pro mode, I was able to capture some really interesting shots. Like this shot where I was able to slow down the shutter and get light trails from the cars and buses passing by. You can even get creative and capture a shot like this, which was definitely one of my favorites from this night. Nighttime in Hong Kong is like a whole nother world. The streets get packed as restaurants, markets, and street vendors open shop. All of the different lights cast colorful shadows across the buildings and the streets, and you can definitely use those to your advantage and capture some really cool shots. And wandering around and exploring at night can lead to some really cool scenes where you otherwise wouldn't have seen in the daytime. For example, this fish shop has hundreds of bags of fish hung up across the walls, and the way the light reflects off of each of these bags is so unique, and you wouldn't see this in the daytime. And I really love this photo because the purple lights reflecting off the water and the glass of the tanks give it an artistic effect that can only be seen at night. And of course, when you think of Hong Kong, most associate the city with neon lights lighting up the streets. Unfortunately, a lot of those neon lights have been taken down due to recent regulations, but there are some still around if you know where to look. And thankfully, besides the classic neon lights, there are still plenty of other LEDs and lights coming from the storefronts that are able to light up the scene and highlight your subject. For a lot of these, I had to manually adjust the exposure slider or jump into the Pro controls to get the accurate exposure. But overall, I was really happy with these night shots and I just love the way they look. The numerous night markets are also a great spot to explore. Besides eating a ton of good food, these food stalls also allow you to get up close with the ultra-wide and capture this unique exaggerated perspective. Or swap over to a telephoto lens where you can capture some of those detail shots. Exploring the city and shooting street photography at night was definitely one of my favorite things to do. And using a phone just allows you to be that much more stealth, especially when you get to crowded areas like this and you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. The quality of these photos looks so good that I still can't believe these came from just a phone. Overall, I am definitely impressed with the S23 Ultra. Even as I was editing the footage and putting this video together, I was consistently surprised by the quality that this phone was able to produce. And I love how easy it is to edit these files in Adobe Lightroom, especially on the device itself. So I can take the photo, edit with my preset system, and then just upload straight to Instagram. It speeds up my workflow considerably, especially if I'm trying to make videos like this. So don't forget to check out my preset system that I'll link in the description below. So regardless of what device you're shooting with, as a photographer, capturing the moment is the most important part. And if I wasn't shooting with the S23 Ultra, I definitely wouldn't be able to capture a lot of the shots that I was able to show in this video. There's just no way I would have been able to swap out the lens on my Sony camera in order to capture those street or travel shots. The only sad part is I will definitely miss the 10x telephoto lens. I noticed that I used it a lot, and even though the performance in low light is not the best, the reach and compression it's able to provide is still so cool to shoot with. On the S24 Ultra, they replaced the 10x lens with a 5x lens, so I'm curious to see how that performs. I am working on a S24 Ultra review video, and there definitely will be comparisons against the 10x lens. So if you haven't already, definitely subscribe so you don't miss it when that video comes out. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to support me and my channel, please don't forget to check out the preset system linked in my description. And maybe even share this video with a friend who you would love to explore Hong Kong with. Like I said earlier, it's such an awesome city for street photography, and I can't wait to go back and visit it again. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.